Hello everybody and welcome to part 2 of my let's play of MLP. Wait, no, it's part 4. What am I talking about? I think it's part 4 of me and my Sapare's let's play of MLP offline. Sapare still probably doesn't find it very hyped, but we discussed it and it's all cool.
We had like 3 hours of talking time.
We had an incredibly sexy talk. I mean, what?
Actually, we did. It wasn't very sexy, but we had a talk, yes.
Sapare doesn't think
we talked politics and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure you guys would have loved to hear, but yeah, we didn't. We got it.
Oh, you guys.
Maybe someday we should make a series where we just talk like politics and all that random other crap that like nobody likes seeing, but somehow yet people listen to.
Well,
they don't like hearing it at school, but then when somebody like just on YouTube talks it, it's like, this is awesome.
Some of it would be cool, I have to agree, but I think some of what we talked about in between was probably things that were good to have, you know, be personal.
Cut out.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Anyways, I'm starting up my theme song, so
and I'm still gonna talk over it because I believe your theme song works best when it's still like just used like that.
You believe my theme song works best when people can't hear it?
No, it's not as an offense. The theme song isn't bad, but I mean like, it's kind of like how Let's Player should probably not have intro cutscenes or anything. It's like, it's just a waste of the time of a Let's Play. You watch a Let's Play to see the video, the game, and not for some side stuff. It's like, if you get, like, I can get reviewers or something. Like if you're a reviewer, you have like the intro stuff, and like you can have the theme song, but there's no reason not to play the game while you still have the 20 seconds of theme song or something.
Yeah, it's actually not a bad point. I should probably start doing that.
Well, yeah, if you
anyways, I beat the crap
disagree.
out of the bats. Oh yeah, if people
your damage
disagree.
like increased like hell.
Yeah, I know. I spent points and I'm like.
Because the last time I like paid attention to this game, you were doing like 9 damage with Twilight.
Yeah, I spent a whole bunch more points on our Okay, I probably should have done her special. Oh well. I just wanted to see how much
damage. Oh my god.
Huh?
1 damage. Oh my god.
Yeah, I know. We're overpowered as hell now. I probably was wrong about the grinding thing. That was stupid. We had no reason to grind. Because now we just rape everything.
Which you enjoy anyway.
Oh yes, I do enjoy this. I enjoy it in...
I do not believe you have a snake fetish.
No, I don't.
Or a bat fetish.
No,
or a perverse fetish.
I actually... This is a funny thing because I think a lot of people, well, it probably won't surprise people by now. There doesn't seem to be a lot over here. Anyways, it probably won't surprise people by now, but recently I was playing Monster Girl Quest, and
yeah,
I actually discovered that I don't like that game.
Oh, I never played it.
Oh, the thing I don't like that, I'm sorry to people that do like that game.
Did you know this is what a copy and paste, I believe, of another map?
Wait, what?
I felt like that one was actually a copy of paste of a map that we walked through before. But I might be totally wrong, so whoever made the game, don't hit me. Anyway, continue with your Monster Girl Quest and stuff.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if I should be talking about that, because it's a rather NSFW game, but we talked about other NSFW
there was the song.
There
was that song. That's what I know it from.
Touch Fluffy Tail. That song is good. I love the song. The thing about the game is just it does not contain my interests. The character I'm playing feels underaged, and I don't really like the whole idea of the monster girls. I understand why other people like them. That's not my thing. So
yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't like you. I don't like Antho anyway, so it's not interesting to me.
You don't like what?
Antho, like Perry.
Okay.
Did you understand it this time, or do I have to type it out?
You go ahead and type it out. Because I'm kind of busy with the battle. Not that busy. I just didn't really hear it that much.
Okay. Well, you can pause after the battle.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Oh, actually, you do see it, yeah.
Yeah, I have your Skype open. Yes,
yeah,
it's right there.
Like, people are gonna be confused. This topic, we just like totally threw away all pretense of not wrong discussion, but whatever. Do that. Okay.
Oops, I'm trying to do something here. Let's see if I can fix
Yeah, are you
this.
still recording?
Yeah, I am. I probably shouldn't
Okay.
be. Sorry, every pony. You're probably gonna be tripping out right now. Like, what the fuck is this? And I'm gonna be like,
Earthquake.
huh?
In video earthquake.
Huh,
It's so
Infinite
weird.
Earthquake. Oh man, I
It's
could
so
make that
weird.
happen right now, but I'm not going to. But that would be so funny. Video earthquake, and it just starts shaking the screen, and people would be like, "Oh my gosh, I'm tripping out." I'd be like, "Lol." Okay, but no, I
Yeah.
wouldn't be. Yeah.
But
okay.
yeah, but as I was saying, that is my personal. That's why I didn't really care for the game in that sense anyway.
Yeah. Okay. It's like I said, for me, it's just the whole what the characters are, and the main character. Like I said, he is a little young for my taste, and that's not generally my thing. It's not something that I hate people for, but it's also not something that's relevant to my interests. And he's not super young. He's not like Scootaloo young, but he
Gonna hate
seems
me over
young, huh?
He's not like Scootaloo young. Achievement. No, but Scootaloo.
Yeah. I'm just saying, if you want something to compare him to that might be relevant to your interests, he's not that young, but he's still pretty young. But,
Right. I'm not interested.
yeah, I know,
Please,
you're
it's
not
Scootaloo.
interested, which is fine, because I'm not interested, because I played the game, and then I'm like, this is a cool idea, but it's not relevant to my interests.
Maybe it'd be better if it was Scootaloo.
You know, actually, yeah, if I played as Scootaloo, I would enjoy the game more. Just because I'm playing
You could now make a game out of that where like you play Scootaloo and you have to like fight all those ponies, and then if you lose to the ponies, then you get cupcakes. I don't know.
I don't know. That's the other thing.
I wasn't go. I didn't want to go into the wrong subsense.
Yeah, that's
cupcake
understandable, but that's the other thing I didn't really enjoy about the game. Oops, I appear to have gone the wrong direction. I didn't really like the
That's
whole.
why all these maps look the same.
Yeah.
The thing is that I'm not even like gonna diss the guys making this, but unless we're going in the wrong direction, I feel like we have seen this map more than once.
Oh, we have. I actually am going in the wrong direction.
Okay, that explains why I saw the other.
Yeah, it's the exact same map.
Because-
I'm getting mixed up.
Okay, because I believe you went back, but I don't know why you went back. I thought you went back to get your characters healed before we stopped the recording. Actually,
No, I didn't. I stopped.
we
in
turned
a new
around,
area.
but I don't know why you turned around.
Oh, I don't know. Because I'm silly. Anyways, so,
Unless you didn't.
anyways, the only other thing I don't really like about the game, though I kind of have accepted with a few others, is that, like some NSFW games, to get the content, the real content that's NSFW, most of it you have to lose the game to unlock. I'm like, I don't like that. I like being good at games. I don't like the idea
Yeah.
that, oh hey, if you want to enjoy this game, you should lose it, because otherwise you're not playing it right. I'm like, what?
Should
Lol.
be the other way around.
Yeah, I know, it should be the other way around. I should get more content for being good at the game.
Maybe you have to play the bad guy then. Did you see that secret chest?
Secret chest? Oh. I'll look for, I didn't apparently. I'll find it after this, but,
Unless it wasn't.
yeah, well,
every-
that's actually my point. Another part of my point is, the game would probably, for me, be more enjoyable if I was playing the monster, which actually, I wouldn't mind it the other way around if I was, like, say, the girl, or something else, or there were guy monsters or something, but just the girl monsters. I'm like, I don't know why, but this isn't my fetish.
Should we put a warning on this video?
No, no, I'm sorry. Other people.
Gonna make a your face joke again.
Oh.
No, the secret chest was further back actually. See? Wait, go back. Turn your camera around so you can see into the side of that building. Not see, there's like this thing. Can you? Oh no, it's not a chest. It's just. Can you see the floor? It looks weird.
Oh yeah, you're right. The floor does look.
Like it's not actually a chest, but it's just that you have the chestboard kind of floor thingy.
Yeah, it
No, what
looks weird.
But I believe I thought there might be like a chest hidden there, but you can't get there. So,
Yeah.
so what are you doing? Because you have to jump back over there and then you go back into on the other map.
Yep. Okay, going back to the other map.
And then last time, because I believe you came here by jumping over those stones. The first
I
time.
thought I just.
When you...
I'm not sure. I thought I just got a treasure chest that way, but I could be completely wrong. Oh wait, I should have
that
had
is-
Applejack to a special mode. I keep
So-
doing silly things like not having Applejack to a special mode, even though
But you don't
clearly
really
doesn't
take any
matter.
damage anyway.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
It's
I
like it's like Applejack takes a damage anyways, and then yeah, it's
She
clearly
heals
like
it, I believe. I don't even know.
no,
maybe.
that's her stamina. She heals her.
I know, but I mean, she has so many. She has barely any life points lost at this point.
Yeah, I know. She has 8 health points lost out of 100. Oh, now she's down to 91 health. Oh my gosh, it's so scary. She might die if I encounter 100 more bats.
No, she said 86. Why was she poisoned or what?
I don't know. Maybe she was poisoned.
Because I believe she had like 95, and then you said the 91, and now she's at 86.
Yeah, I hope they reduce the amount of enemies in the final product, because I have to admit this amount of...
This is JRPG style, don't hit me.
No, it's not JRPG style. I'm sorry, but you're wrong. It's not... It depends on what kind of JRPG you're talking,
Yeah,
but you're
it's
not
just
technically supposed to encounter... there are a lot of new games where I don't encounter an enemy every 2 seconds if I'm not trying to. This
But
game...
that is also the thing I hated about, like, maybe this is always good at JRPG, but the thing is, all my JRPG knowledge come from like Let's Plays, but often it's like, I also hated this whole style of not being able, like here you can actually see the enemies, but I hate this random factor thingy.
Oh,
that
the
was
random
such an annoying bullshit. Yeah, and then what I also disliked is that the enemies respawn when you re-go on the screen. Like that is such an annoying thing.
Oh yeah, for
Like,
this
if you leave
game,
screening
I have
again.
to. Well, for some games I dislike it. For some games I do like it. JRPGs I don't mind when they respawn to some degree, because if they keep respawning, I can oftentimes. It depends on how easy to dodge. If they keep respawning and they keep getting in my way, but I don't want to fight them, it's kind of a pain. But if they keep respawning, it's pretty much for the sake of, oh hey, you can fight enemies if you want to gain extra experience. I kind of like that. But
So pretty
what
much
I
if you
like
want to
about some
grind,
of the
but then
newer,
you're grinding, so.
so what I like about some of the newer JRPGs, like there's this one. Well, it's not even that newer. There's this PS1 I used one game, and a lot of the Tales games that include this that I really like, is that the way it works is as you level up, the enemies have this like if you're above a certain skill level above them, the enemies will actually run away from you actively on the screen before you enter a fight. So if huh?
Mountain Blade kinda does that.
Yeah, Mountain
Because
Blade
if
does. Mountain Blade does do that. You're right. But yeah, it does exactly that. Is, oh hey, if you're so much more powerful than your opponent, they'll be like, I don't
So
really
they'd be
wanna
like,
fight
fuck
you.
this shit.
Yeah, they'll be like, fuck that shit, and they'll run away from you. And so you don't.
I
have
don't get paid enough for this.
I don't get paid enough to deal with this guy who's like level fucking 50. I'm out of here. This is bullshit. And that's exactly what happens.
Like, I don't get paid at all.
I don't get paid at all. I'm a fucking bat. I'm out of here.
But that does actually beg the question of, oh, the game didn't actually crash my game. I guess my screen just lagged. It does beg the question of, these snakes and bats are like, I'm kinda hungry, and there's like this pony which can do like fireballs, and this pony which can like kick me 80 meters into the air. But I could also probably attack like the rat over there, but nah.
Yeah. Well,
Pony is bad prey.
well, that's just a personal logic. It's, you know, I've
That's what I do with Let's Play. I think about logic.
Yeah, I can understand that, but I've encountered the occasional. Usually they don't do this, but it is, well, actually it's funny because if you personally run up to someone who's underpowered in Mount and Blade, they'll still actively attack you sometimes. Like this one time, it was really early game because I'm still not that far into the game. I had 19 soldiers and they had like 6 soldiers, and they were like, "You want to mess with us? We'll beat you up." And I'm like, okay. And then I killed them because I was like, "That's so stupid." Huh?
What were their soldiers? What were your soldiers?
I had what I forget what they're called, but I had the green side.
But that's the recruits or what?
Huh?
Any leveled up at all or just the?
Oh no, they were leveled up some, yeah. And I was fighting I don't think they were bandits. I think they were deserters. Yeah, they were deserters from an army or something.
Okay. I don't know, maybe she just miscalculated the chances.
Yeah, they probably were like, "Oh hey, these guys don't have very many real soldiers. We used to be legit soldiers. I bet we could beat them up." And then they were like, "Oh god, there's so many of these not legit soldiers. They're killing all of us." And then their commander's ridiculous. Cause I picked the history stuff that makes me like I used to be the soldier and the squire and all that crap when my character
You
was
pretty much
young.
used to be the knight.
Yeah, I
Everything
like,
up to the knight, yes.
yeah, I pretty much picked the path so my guy was the perfect fucking knight so he could be okay. So I don't know where I'm going. I legit don't know where I'm going anymore.
You know, this is best Let's Play. You start off by like doing the game kind of seriously. Then the game crashes on us, then we're like, fuck this game, and we like try our best to get it running. Then the game kinda runs, then we start yelling at each other, then we walk into the wrong direction, and then we get like stopped for a few hours. We continue, get totally lost, and start talking about Monster Girl stuff and other stuff.
This is indeed best Let's Play. Other people probably be
And
like,
now we just like randomly walking around being lost.
yeah, people are probably gonna hate this. Either that or they're gonna love this because it's stupid as hell and it's ridiculous and it's funny.
Well, I believe at this point they're probably kind of bored, but that's okay.
Oh, they probably are. They're probably like, this is so boring. You're not even getting anywhere.
Well,
There's
I believe you might actually have to. The thing is, you're pretty much lost in the Everfree Forest. I gotta give this game credit for one thing. It is a very good simulation of being lost in the Everfree Forest, how I always imagined it
Oh
being.
yeah, it is.
There's no fucking way to get out of this place. Everything looks the fucking same.
Yeah, it is a great representation. I'm lost in the Everfree Forest and every little fucking thing wants to kill me. Because they're stupid.
What I'm curious about, why is there so many of these power sprites? You would expect them to get killed. I guess this is like because, you know, in that episode they roll like a ball of power sprites into the Everfree Forest. And since then the Everfree Forest has been like infested by like billions of power sprites.
Yeah, that seems like a legit explanation.
So pretty much Twilight Sparkle and all your friends like ruined everything.
Right,
But actually I'm liking this because that means you're slowly gonna die, which means I'm gonna see what happens when you die. No offense.
You're gonna have to wait a ton of apple. You're
What?
gonna have to wait
all
a
these
ton.
apples.
You're gonna have to wait a lot of fucking battles for Applejack to go down, my friend.
That Twilight is already like being like, oh well, I'm kinda tired.
Yeah, unfortunately, Twilight is really much more susceptible to damage. And I don't like the way I leveled her
There
up.
was a button, by the way.
Yeah,
That-
they really well, actually I think it's the way things work. They just don't explain how weaknesses work, but I'm pretty sure that the snakes are resistant to that. Okay, can I have you cast anything else? It feels like
No,
you should have
so-
other spells.
To be honest, Twilight is like worst match. Oh my god, that face! I wanna like now, guys. Sorry, I'm sorry, but look at her.
Yeah,
at that-
yeah,
look at that-
I know. It's You love yourself some Twilight Sparkle.
And some Scooby-Doo and some Rainbow Dash and some
I
Doctor
love
Who.
me some Rainbow Dash.
I'm not like the most reliable like guy you can impersonate. Because look at that Applejack, I would snuggle it.
Huh.
So
Let's see. It's actually funny because you don't know this Sapare because you weren't around for the other part, but last time I played this game, crap, I just freaking you know what, you're probably not gonna be able to stick around to see this because I'm probably gonna give up because I'm really tired of this freaking being lost in the Everfree Forest crap.
wait, we are gonna do this till we die, right?
Why would I look how slowly Applejack is dying.
Once Twilight is down, Applejack is gonna die. Don't.
No, she's
She
not.
only kills like 2 characters. She only has she has only 50% almost of her life. Don't worry about it.
No,
This
I'm
makes
gonna worry about it, dude.
annihilate
It's going to take me freaking forever for Applejack to die, even if I wanted her to die. It'd be faster to restart Sword level 1 and just rush into battle without spending our points. Because Applejack is going to take, like, another 30 battles to die, if that.
You're waiting. Unless you have like really a lot of healing stuff that I don't know of.
Actually,
Because
I do happen to have an apple in my inventory.
that's not a lot though.
That's not a lot, but it's
You
an
do know the
apple.
snake does like 10 damage when it poisons you.
Yeah, the
every
snakes do
turn.
a decent bit of damage.
You only have 68. When we started talking about Applejack's life, she had like over 80.
Oh, funny. I thought I had an apple. What do I have? I
Actually.
have all this stuff that I can't actually use in the demo. Oh wait, a healing pulse. Okay, there we go. Now I'll heal up Twilight so you die.
How much does it heal fully?
I think so. I think at this level it heals fully. Let's check stats.
You could continue and be in a fight and then you see.
Huh?
You can just continue till you go into a fight and then you can see.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, don't go back in that way.
Yeah, I
That's
know. Where's the stairs? There's the stairs. Okay, let's see if I can escape from here because I think there's supposed to be something the other way, but I can't freaking get to it. So it's.
I don't even know which way you came from or which way you go to.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
totally
I
lost.
know that feel. I don't actually know where I'm
I still
going.
believe you turned around the wrong corner. That's why Twilight should have used the GPS.
Twilight should have used her magic GPS missile. Exactly.
It's kind of funny because it's like Twilight goes out at the night to get to the Everfree Forest to like find that that meteor thing, but on the way she just gets lost in the forest.
Yeah, I don't actually. Damn it.
I don't think that jump is possible.
I don't think it is either.
You're gonna get poked. Unless maybe I don't know.
I'm gonna do my. Oh wait. How much damage does this do? Okay, it would have been better to do my double jump, which just killed one. But yeah, just knock that one
This
out.
looks like
Yeah, it works anyways.
18 damage, not bad.
Okay. Freaking
Seems
the
she
thing
can't
about.
level up anymore, I think.
Huh?
She can't really level up anymore.
No, this sucks, because I can't actually... I don't think I can...
Continue.
Huh?
Don't exit the game. Don't crash the game.
I am gonna crash the game. I'm gonna crash the game by trying to figure out what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I can check enemies. I can look at how many I've killed. I've killed 62 of these little parasprites.
18 snakes. Wait, why are there 2 types of cave pets?
I don't know. They really should give them a different name, but they're different colors and one's stronger than the other, which I already noticed. Because one has,
I noticed
like,
the different
double
colors. I
health.
didn't notice that one of them was better.
Oh. Well, see, I'm noticing.
Yeah, I saw the difference in things.
Silly Sapare.
But why am I silly?
I don't know. Because you didn't notice the different type of snakes. I'm gonna make the game crash.
No, just keep going. Don't
I'm going
ruin
to
my
crash
time.
the game, Sapare. freaking crash! Oh, okay.
Don't ruin my dreams of seeing how this happens when you die.
Okay.
I'm really curious.
I really no, but I really have a better plan than this Sapare, and
I'm gonna just stop you because I'm just gonna be a douchebag today.
Okay, but
What
I
is it?
really do have a better plan. You should watch it. Okay, it starts with hitting this and crashing the game again.
I'm guessing you're not gonna finish this let's play.
No, I don't think there's a legit way to, but I will go ahead. Oh, hey, the game closed. Well, I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna reopen it. Okay, we're back, even though it didn't give you any time, and I'm going to try warping with Spike and see where he warps me to for Urban 2.0. Okay, so warps me. So that's...
Warp to the forest and die.
Yeah. Okay, so just warps me to towns. That was legit.
How do you go backwards in a conversation?
You literally can't. The backwards button goes forward. See?
That's magic. Backwards is magic.
The backwards button isn't magic. It legit doesn't work.
No, Spike is gone. Oh, you're fucked.
Oh no.
Guess now the game is gonna crash if it goes through the normal way.
The game is. Oh yeah, that's. Oh wait, that might be true. Cause that's. Wait, no, wait. We went in the. Wait, did we get in the normal way or did the game
It
crash?
teleported. It crashed.
Oh, you're probably right then. The game is gonna crash again because
So actually, this time the screen doesn't seem to be messed up, so it might not crash.
And before the
Guess
screen
the screen.
explodes upon itself. Okay, I'm sorry, but it might. But yeah, you're right. Actually, it does seem to be working fine. Wow, this is surprising.
Wait, we did get this far last time. This is where it crashed on teleportation, like on the ship.
Yeah, this is where we had to teleport because the game didn't want us to go the legit direction. Okay, so because I can't figure out how this whole thing works of playing. Yeah, I'm going to do what Sapare wants. I'm going to oh, apparently the auto fight button doesn't work yet. I'm going to lose on purpose so we can find out what happened when we die. Because as far as I can tell, there's no legit way to get anywhere in this. There probably is. I'm probably wrong. What was that, Sapare? Sorry,
I know it's gonna sound douchebaggy, though I don't mean to, but probably not turning around halfway and walking in the wrong direction.
Yeah, well, it would have helped.
That's what it felt like to me. I just not have been paying attention because I just wasn't paying attention.
I don't even know, unfortunately,
Like,
if you're right or not. I don't know if I'm mixed up or if the game doesn't have a very legit direction system or what's going on, unfortunately. So I can't tell you.
I believe we were in the middle of the debate and you walked like all the way along one direction to that one end of the screen, and then you fought a monster, and then you like turned around and started walking in a different direction. I'm guessing he's gonna get healed, but then like we just kept walking in that direction, but I got confused at that point.
Yeah.
There's so many screens and they all look the same-ish. No offense to the makers again. So I guess if you take offense easily, that's not really my fault.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm not.
It's okay. It's okay. If it makes you feel better, one of these days, as mentioned before, Sapare's gonna end up in my basement. One of these days. Not today, because I'm using him for other things. I'm using him for things of a different nature. Yes.
Like let's play.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm using you for let's play. Except I'm not really using you because we're both having fun. But you know.
But you can use somebody and have fun. I mean, they can have fun by being used. If you don't mean in a negative sense.
I'm the whole blocking and basement thing is gonna be using you, and I guess that's you're okay with it. So I mean, there you go. There's that.
Still feel like that's gonna like I'm surprised. Man, Twilight looks adorable.
You're surprised that people are okay with this?
Pretty much, but Twilight does look adorable when she gets hit, even though that might sound a bit weird.
That sounds very weird, Sapare. You should feel no, it's fine. It's understandable. She does have a thing that does make her look adorable when she's getting attacked, which sounds weird, but yeah, it does. It's the way the game is. It's not your fault.
Good, we agree.
Okay, so there's Applejack down. So Twilight Sparkle.
Applejack, no! Applejack!
So
She
I'm going
feels
to lose this battle now, and nothing's probably going to happen. Let's see what happens. And then the game crashes.
Twilight.
Oh, literally nothing happens. That's so stupid.
Wait, continue playing. I wanna see if your life points are restored and all that.
Okay, so they're one. So
You can do this, just believe in the force of whoever. Twilight!
we can just lose battles and the game doesn't care. It's like, I wasn't programmed so you can lose, so I'm sorry you lost, but you know, I'm not actually gonna punish you for it.
It should have like turned into cupcakes.
Huh? No, they should have, well, no, they should have a legit game over screen. They obviously shouldn't have anything cupcakes related. That'd be ridiculous, Sapare.
I know, I was joking.
Oh, your face was joking.
This game could also have turned Monster Girl thingy, whatever it's called. What is that game called again?
Monster Girl?
Yeah, like you could have gone that direction when you did this.
Well, this game is an NSFW. They wouldn't want to go that direction.
Maybe just so difficult to lose that nobody ever finds out it secretly is.
I don't think that's the case, Sapare. I'm sorry. But I wouldn't personally mind if that was the case, if we were fighting things that weren't snakes and cave bats and stuff. Fighting caves and snakes, I mean... fighting cave bats and snakes and crap, I really don't feel that it should go this direction, because I don't like any of them like that. I'm sorry, parasprites and cave bats and snakes. I hate all of your guts and you should
I
feel
believe
bad.
you just ruined the dreams of half of your viewers. Your viewership may be displeased.
What, that I hate cave bats and snakes and everything?
Yes, because half of your viewership are cave bats, snakes, and parasprites, and they were all romantically. They all wanted to be romantically involved with you.
I'm pretty sure most of my viewers are gonna be like, that's okay. We hate cave bats and snakes and parasprites as well, except for maybe a few of them who are gonna be like, yeah, you know, we'd still appreciate seeing that. I'm just like, no, I'm sorry. If it involves parasprites or cave bats, what?
I forgot.
If it involved one of the guard ponies and I could get into a fight with them and it ended like that, I'd be okay with it.
What about if it involved it's Meteor?
A meteor? No, why would I want to be raped by a meteor?
I don't know.
I mean, unless it turned out to be a tentacle meteor. But
what about Tom?
No, I don't have those kind of feelings for Tom. I'm sorry, Tom. Tom may be rock hard, but you know, I can't help him with that.
By the way, you guys can turn off the video now. I think we are pretty much done with anything that is of
yeah, we're done being legit. Right now we're just going to rant a little bit before.
Admittedly, we went with legit. This whole part wasn't legit. Like,
this whole
Let's Play ended with a debate, and then it was over. Like, when we started debating about JRPGs, that was when this was done.
This stopped being legit last time. Last time we recorded, yesterday.
I mean, there's kind of the problem when one of you two Let's Players decides that he hates this style of game.
Yeah, well, you know, it's fine.
Or dislikes
this game. This game does need a ton of work. I still appreciate what they did. It's great so far, in my opinion, of what it is. But this is pretty much, I don't even know if I'd call this beta. This is, in my opinion, this is probably alpha.
It's not a beta. Beta means that you have everything added that you want to add, and
yeah. So this is at best maybe an alpha build, maybe a pre-alpha. I don't know how that works.
Probably. The thing is, the moment you go, like, your beta is defined pretty well, and then alpha, it's kind of defined, but actually everything like pre-alpha and all that, there are probably somewhere in the textbook you could find definitions, but everybody uses different definitions for that. like it's difficult to define when it's pre-alpha and when it's alpha. But
I-
as I was going to say before you end the video and before people rip me apart, I'm not saying the game itself is badly made. I'm not even like I don't want to insult the makers of the game. I'm just saying this style of game is just not for me. It's like it can be the greatest game ever, and it would still probably kind of bore me just because of how it's built up.
Yeah.
Because I just don't like this JRPG style gameplay.
Yeah.
So yeah, no offense
it's
to you guys.
It's just not Sapare's kind of game. I can understand that. It was just the way he worded it before. My mind just registered it badly. But it is true, it's not your type of game, it's understandable, just like I don't like sports games. They don't interest me because I wouldn't legit play sports in real life, but I could go play basketball in real life, in my opinion.
Well, sports games are kind of boring. The only sports game which is, I would say it's maybe a tad intriguing to me, but then again I don't want to play it, is like football manager kind of stuff, which is like, this is like the most boring you could ever get, but I find it very intriguing because it's unique in its like idea kind of.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
There's a novelty to it,
yeah.
but at the same time, I did play them before. I played the one I believe EA makes, and it was terrible because it's made by EA. But I do know there's one made by British people, which is so much better. But I never played it, so I don't know.
Okay, well, I'm not sure. I do actually have to admit, I don't hate all sports games. Pro tip, I dislike realistic sports games. I enjoy some of the arcadey sports games. Like you've already established, you don't care for Mario, but like Mario Tennis, and this wouldn't be relevant to your interest, but it's relevant to my interest. I don't love it. It's still a tennis game, but it's better than normal tennis games because, hey, it's,
Yeah, actually, if you're done, like, finish, I can.
Yeah, you can say it. Well, I was kind of going to say also, it wasn't really a sports game itself, but there was this mini game on, Escape from Monkey, no, it was not that, it was, Ape Escape 2. Ape Escape 2 had this soccer mini game where you played soccer as the monkeys, and it was ridiculous. Like, at one point you could get your, soccer ball to be like a spike ball, and you could go around and kick it into people, and it was fun. But it was another arcadey sports thing where it's like, this isn't at all how soccer is, but this is how you have fun with a soccer game, in my opinion. It's silly, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, but as I was gonna say, the only sports game which was kind of realistic sport game which I actually enjoyed was like a really old tennis game, which was like on the, I think originally I think it was just called Game Boy, like it was black and white, but it's actually just like black and green because the screen was like greenish, and you just have black colors really. But it was like a really old tennis game in that style. But it's like really old, like impossibly difficult to play. Like when I played, I was like way younger because I haven't seen that game in like many years. Point is, that was like the only sport game I ever liked, and I didn't win a single. Not once did I win that game. Like I didn't. Not once did I win. Like not once did I win a match against any AI in that game. It was difficult to play.
That sounds silly.
Because it's difficult to play because you actually had to like use that keypad thingy to walk around the whole field and then you have to time it correctly, but it was very stingy in like timing to hit. Like you have to press and then he does either like overhand or a down hit, but you have to be standing in the perfect position and clicking it at the perfect time, clicking the correct one at the perfect time, and sometimes it was like literally impossible to pull it off. And yeah. But yeah, that game I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, but I actually had fun with that one.
Okay.
And yeah.
I guess
that game was nice.
Alright.
And I guess I did somewhat enjoy the like EA just the normal soccer games, like not Soccer Manager, but just the normal like soccer games. They get kind of boring. I kind of like them a bit. They are like fun pastime, but it's not like I'm not like a great fan of them, and I hate EA. So, yeah. Oh yeah, that's another information for you guys. I hate EA.
Yeah,
now you know more about me.
There are multiple people who hate EA for various reasons. Even I kind of don't like EA that much because they keep doing things that I disapprove of, and I'm like, I disapprove of this. Like, there's various series that they've taken that I'm like, I don't really like what you're doing with this series.
Which one?
I think Knights of the Old Republic, though I could be. Then again, I haven't tried the Knights of the Old Republic MMO, so I'm not sure I want to talk.
But I don't know if that one is actually EA, because the Knights of the Old Republic was originally LucasArts, which is the guys who make all the Star Wars games, but it was made by BioWare. LucasArts published it. BioWare works for EA, but I don't actually know how the Old Republic was done, because the rights are owned by, like, the publishing rights are LucasArts, but the makers are BioWare, and BioWare is owned by EA.
Yeah.
So like, I'm assuming that LucasArts made a deal with EA. So
know.
you could blame EA, or you could blame BioWare, or you could blame.
I don't know. I haven't even played the new one. I feel like.
Right, from what I heard, it's kind of mediocre.
Yeah.
It's like mediocre.
Yeah, I've heard it's an MMO with Star Wars, and that's it. And people like it because it's a good MMO with Star Wars. But it's still an MMO with Star Wars. It's not like, say, Guild Wars 2, which pretty much they freaking fixed everything I've ever hated about playing an MMO.
Yeah, but then again, I don't really care about BioWare myself anymore.
Yeah.
But just like, people are gonna hate me even. Like, everything I might have said before probably was okay, but me dissing BioWare right now is probably gonna be too much for people. But I don't like BioWare anymore, really. I did not like Mass Effect 3, and I did not like Mass Effect 2.
I'm sorry, but I think people are gonna hate you more for the JRPG thing.
Actually, I think the Mass Effect 2 might be enough too much for people. Like, you did not like Mass Effect 2, get the fuck out. But I did like it. My perfect Mass Effect 1.
I personally like Mass Effect 1 better.
My favorite Mass Effect is Mass Effect 1. But I don't hate Mass Effect 2. I actually do hate what it represents, but I don't hate it itself.
I don't know. I think it got a little overpopular. I'm kind of enjoying 3. I really enjoyed 1 as opposed to 2, and I think the thing is that I've mentioned, I enjoy JRPGs. It's fine if you don't, but I really liked. Well, actually no, because you like RPGs too, and 1 just had so much better in the way of RPG elements. 2 kind of cut down on the RPG elements.
This is the part where we agree.
Huh?
You are probably the first person I ran into who just outright agreed in like that sense, which I'm actually that equals out all the JRPG and Mario stuff for me, because I had people agree with me before, actually a few who said like Mass Effect 1 was overall better, but nobody ever agreed like in the whole gameplay and RPG thing that much. But I just outright I agree. I just had way more fun, even though the gameplay, some people say it was like. It was just like very imperfect, and like there was too much digging on in inventories, which I consider silly if you ever played like really old games. You have so much more digging on, but there was nothing really problematic, but it was actually an RPG. The second game just felt so. The problem is the second game just kind of ruined. The thing is, what I always said is, the first game tried a bunch of new stuff, or at least relatively new stuff, and did not get everything correct. Yes, they had like flaws in their game because of how much new stuff, or at least relatively new stuff, they tried.
Right.
The second game, instead of fixing pretty much the stuff that was flawed, just threw out everything which was new and which was flawed, and never fixed it.
I know, they just said
people are like, very overheating guns are like lame, because you could theoretically skill it so you can constantly shoot, and it doesn't work well, so it's like, oh yeah, let's just throw that out and go back to ammo guns. And then like skill system, it's like inventories too much like digging around, so instead of fixing that, just let's throw inventories out, and then like all of that stuff.
I know, and so they threw out so much good content because they didn't want to weigh people down, but I'm like, that's stupid. I'm sorry, because now Mass Effect's pretty much a shooter. It's not a shooter RPG, it's a
and it's not even a very unique
RPG
shooter.
Elements that's kind of unique-ish, I guess.
But the thing is, I didn't find it that like, it had some nice stuff, but it's like, the Mako is probably the best example of the whole like throwing everything out which didn't work perfectly, because it's like, the Mako didn't work that well, and some people complained of how the Mako was implemented. Let's just completely throw that out, and that is like, the game, the problem with Mass Effect 2 is the main problem of that game is it's such a fucking monotone game. And that is two part because of the fact that they threw out the Mako and like stuff related to that. Like because the first game it's like you have talking, you have decisions and like that kind of stuff, and then you have like walking one in. You pretty much have walking one in like non-combat area and then in combat areas. And then you have like the Mako sometimes thrown into that with like the exploration stuff, which wasn't implemented that way, but it breaks up the flow of the game. Like you have like 3 or 4 parts of the game, even though if the Mako wasn't really implemented that way, the flow was always broken up. Like every major mission, which is like 8 hours, you have one Mako part into it.
Yeah.
And then in the second game, the main problem was to me, most of the non-combat areas were cut down so much that it was like there wasn't very many non-combat areas anymore anyway. So most of the like 80% of the game is combat, which means you have like these 8-hour missions, you have no Mako, you have no non-combat, and you pretty much like the game is such a monotone game, like you're just doing the same thing the whole game.
Yeah.
And that's what I actually said with like I love Dragon Age, but Dragon Age ran into this problem where sometimes like 20 hours long, like one main quest part can be like 20 hours, and it gets really monotone because Dragon Age did this thing where it's like you have a non-combat area which is like huge, and then you have a ginormously long combat area which drags on for way too long.
That's actually
overall the invasion was fine. It's just that they wasn't like cut into each other very much. It was
you
like
know, this is actually something that, in my opinion, and people like hate me for this because I'm kind of starting to say a little bit bad on BioWare now, but this is, in my opinion, a problem that BioWare's almost always had. They don't have very good balance with the combat, non-combat areas. Some games they do it better, but it seems like most of their games, they usually have it to the point where one of them gets monotonous before they bring on the other. So
yeah, I can actually agree. Like, I don't remember Knights of the Old Republic or that way, but I don't know if they had that problem directly. But I can imagine, like, I do remember big combat areas in it. It's just I don't know if it was that of a pain.
I actually think it kind of was. There were some of the non-combat areas weren't that long, and they did switch it up some. But then there were some times you'd get to like a town, and you'd be there for like 5 hours, and you're like, oh my gosh, I've been in town forever.
Yeah, the funny thing is though, I'm always a guy who gets bored more so quicker of the combat areas than the non-combat areas. Because I do like when you mention town, I'm thinking the desert planet Dantooine, I believe it is. Is it? It's not Dantooine. Dantooine is a Jedi planet.
Yeah.
But there's the other one. The one with like the Java people on it. The small sand guys. And
the Tatooine.
Yeah, Tatooine. It's the names are so close. But you have like the town, and then you go into the desert. I just know that desert is like pretty huge actually.
Yeah.
And the one that I remember the most is actually the underwater city. Like there's a water with a Bacta, and then you go underwater. And I remember that one is slightly unfair because in general I hated that whole area because when I first played I was like 10 years old, and that is as you already know, I'm the guy who gets easily creeped out, but that whole underwater area was like creepy as fuck. But I just remember that area was like huge because you go into it, everyone is dead, you pretty much only meet insane people or dead people, you constantly fight these fish guys who try to kill you, and then you do all this which is like a bunch of like clearing everything out, and then you go into this suit where you go out into the water and you're so freaking slow. And this goes for like 30 minutes just walking around in this slow ass suit. And then you do a riddle in the slow ass suit. And at that point I just like that was one of the main reasons I did replay Knights of the Old Republic like for a long time, because I was like, fuck that area.
Yeah, that actually I have to agree with that. That was the biggest problem, in my opinion, with the first Knights of the Old Republic. Was one of the biggest problems was besides the fact of the not breaking up very well, when you were in the spacesuits and all the other stuff, when you were in a different thing rather than just your normal suit, but like say you were in the normal suit, your character moved so slowly, and I was like, ah, fuck.
The thing is, like, at first it's I didn't mind it because it's like it's kind of cool to do it realistic kind of thingy. So admittedly, it's fucking Star Wars. You guys got lightsabers. You assume they build a suit better than we have these days.
Yeah.
But I didn't mind it at first. But the thing is, this should not be stretching on for like such a long area.
Yeah.
And the thing is that I don't like, I don't hate the area just for that, because it's unfair, because they actually, at least the guys who took over the Knights of the Old Republic project in the second game, they totally fixed that completely.
Oh yeah, that's one of the things I really like about them, is they said, oh hey, we know everyone hated this, including us. Here you go, we're just gonna fix it. That's all we're gonna do. We're smart.
Yeah, it's like they didn't take it out, which is funny, because I don't know if you played the second one, or if you knew the second, if you know how well you know the second one, but the second one was made by BioWare.
Yeah, I know the story, and I played both of them.
Yeah, the point is the second one wasn't made by BioWare, and they kept in the suit, they just speeded it up. It's like, they didn't remove the future, they just fixed the future, which I assume if BioWare had made Knights of the Old Republic 2, they would have just removed it, because that's what they do. Because that's what they did with the Mako. It's like, no, people didn't kind of like the Mako, because really the main complaint about the Mako actually was the shields, they just take forever to recharge. At least that's from what I heard, that's what people were complaining about. I never disliked the Mako. If you know, the Mako is the driving thing.
Oh, that thing.
Yep.
I actually...
Yeah, people were like, it takes forever for the shields to recharge, so they threw out the Mako. It's like, what the hell?
Yeah,
I recharge faster.
You know, I actually have to agree. I thought it was kind of silly that they pulled that out, because I was like, that was kind of cool, and that seemed like a cool, legit thing to have, and then they pulled it out, because they were like, people are tired of this kind of, and I'm like, but I like it. I liked the whole vehicle thing. Why do you take it out? I like it.
Yeah, most people are just like slightly annoyed, but for me it's one of the main, like that and the exploration, which was like, people didn't like exploration because whoever made the maps into like ginormous spiky fucking mountains. Which actually I played through Mass Effect like at least 2 or 3 times by exploring every planet, and it's like, there were some really painful ones, like I not just exploring them, but like getting everything everywhere, like I 100%ed it.
Yeah.
And there were some really annoying ones, but like once you know which passages to take, it wasn't as terrible as people made it out to be. But you could have fixed that by just making the area more flat, because honestly, even realistically seen, these areas should be relatively flat. Like, yes, you have like mountains on Earth, but you don't have like a ginormous spiky mountain everywhere on Earth. Like, look around you. And I don't know where you live, but probably there isn't like a ginormous mountain every 10 meters.
Now, we live in Arizona, and there are a few mountains, but we don't just walk outside like, oh my gosh, there's a mountain.
And then, like, if you try to climb it, like, if you try to climb it with a car, it, like, flips backwards 8 times.
Well,
but yeah,
yeah, we wouldn't be able to climb mountains around here with a car, but, yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, that's how spiky the mountains were, that you, like, trying to drive up the mountain would,
yeah,
like,
no,
flip
they
backwards.
weren't that ridiculously steep. If you tried to climb the mountain, with a car that could do what the car could in that game, your car would just be flipping over. Like, what the fuck is this mountain doing? Why are you trying to drive this car up this mountain? Oh, I hate you. No, it would drive up most of the way. It would probably actually drive up all the way around most of the mountains around
Yeah, like
here.
if the engine pulls it off, it probably wouldn't be like, because you need an angle which is to be able to flip the car. Like, my math might be totally failing me, but if I'm not mistaken, wouldn't you need an angle so steep that your car is like just above 90 like just under 90 degrees angle, but it's far enough that the back of the car is over 90 degrees angle, so much that the weight is pulling it downward. Like, that means you have like an 80-degree angle, and then the car is just over the 90-degree, and it causes it to flip backwards.
Yeah.
Like, when you have an 80-degree angle, what the hell? because my math might be failing me here, but that's what I would assume. That's the only way to flip a car backwards, because you would have to be that steep.
Yeah.
And
I don't
yeah.
know, but it's pretty ridiculous.
Going back to actually the important stuff, that what my point was in Mass Effect, why I like Mass Effect 1 more is, you took out the car, you took out the exploration, you took out the inventory, you took most of the non-fighting areas were taken out because you had no inventory. Like, you spent like maybe half an hour in like on the Citadel because it was so small, and you took like maybe 20 minutes on the non-fighting areas everywhere else, and then you went into like the combat. So the game felt really monotone to me. Like, by the way, I was like quarters through the game, I was so bored, and people are like, well, the combat is so much better, and yes, it probably was so much better, even though I didn't like the combat because they changed it. I just said just personal opinion, but if the game is 80% of it, unless this combat is 80 times percent better, like it's like 3 times as good, then maybe I'd be okay. But this combat was like kind of better, maybe like 20%, 30% better, but it's 50% more of the game.
Yeah, I have to agree. And the thing was, I liked the combat in Mass Effect 2, but I didn't like you mentioned, they tried something new with the ammo, and then they just threw that out the window. I'm like, I kind of like the old system with that. It was a unique system. It was.
Yeah, I like that a lot actually, because like the thing is, I call it a unique system. The thing is, if nobody ever had been smart enough to do this argument with me, but normally, like, I've actually thought of it, like, you could be like, well, Halo Combat Evolved did that 10 years ago, how is that unique? But even then, it's like, I think Halo is the only game series which ever did that, and even then, they didn't really do it that much, because they only used it for very specific weapons.
Yeah, I'm not saying no
one's
ever...
did it in a role-playing game anyway.
Yeah, I'm not saying no one's ever done it, but yeah, they've certainly never done it to the extent, or there's not very many, if there are any, who've done it to the extent of, oh hey, every weapon, the only problem it has is it overheats, because it's the future, so the weapon regenerates, and it's just all you have to worry about is it overheats, because weapons in the future
and overall, like,
and then they took that out, and it's basically like you're shooting each other with futuristic modern day weapons.
Yeah, and also my problem with that is, not only do you make the game monotone and you take away the uniqueness, which is already bad in a normal game, but we are talking about a game which is like a completely different universe, like supposed to be science fiction kind of thingy, like maybe its own world, not at all like ours. So you need this feeling, like taking away the feeling of uniqueness makes it even worse than in a normal game. Like just the normal game being average is kind of boring, but here it's like this universe might as well be ours 50 years ahead, because we use the same fucking weapons. We don't have any specific cars or anything new technology which is of relevance.
You know, I kind of have to agree that besides some of the futuristic attacks, but the guns themselves, but basically, yeah, the game could be set in, heck, the game could be set in pretty much modern day age, or 50 years in the future with magic, and that's freaking the game setting. It's not very futuristic.
Yeah, pretty much. And yeah, so
except for the background stuff. The cities are nice, the aliens are nice, the spaceships are nice, but you don't use any of them. Well,
yeah,
unless you count the sex scenes. Unless you count the sex scenes, then you use the aliens. But that's different.
Yeah, but also the thing in general, it's like I said, they cut down this. Like, I really like the Citadel in the first game, also because of how much of an importance it played in the story. Like, I might be being nostalgic, but I really like the story in the first game, because it's this. At first, it starts out at being a very basic story, but it turns out to be really good in my opinion. But my point is just going on a like tangent here. But point is, I like the Citadel, and because it was this kind of unique, as you could go in many places with a ginormous Citadel, as big as a planet pretty much. And then there's nothing of the Citadel in the second game.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
Like the dogging area, you got the area you dog, and then you only got the one room where you like go into, like, I think you go into the office thing, you only go like once, and the guy's like, oh yeah, you were like the one guy who put me into this position of power, but fuck you. It's like, I might restore your Spectre point, which also I hated the whole thing. It's like, oh yeah, you died, so we don't trust you anymore. It's just the story, it's its own thing. The story of the second game was freaking retarded.
Oh, that was one of the things that kind of I also have to agree with, was that there was nothing. The thing about the story for the second game is it would have the story for the second game would have made more sense as the story for a first game, or the first game, whatever. Because you're a war hero and no one believes you. I'm like, that's stupid. That's like saying if I'm I don't even know what to compare it to. Who's freaking great?
Superman. You like Superman,
yeah,
and you
that's-
like you like Superman, and you go to the U.S. government. It's like Lex Luthor has an underwater base, and they're like, underwater bases, those don't exist. But
yeah,
we just shot a rocket to the moon.
That's exactly the point. That's a and Superman wouldn't have to, but I'm just saying that is true. That's like if Superman went up to the government and he's like, Lex Luthor is up to something. They're like, that's stupid. It's like, the fuck? He's Superman. Why would you just go, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
I guess we can make this video about Mass Effect, but I have so much to rant about Mass Effect, and I'm fine with this being recorded and put on internet just for the but the thing with Mass Effect, just that as a story, I found that really annoying. But also my general opinion with the second game was, the game was totally irrelevant. Like, I am the guy who rambles about irrelevant things, but this is like, think about the story. The story starts, you just beat the bad guys. You know the bad guys are gonna arrive sometime soon. You don't know when, but you assume like really soon. You get killed, you get revived, you rebuild everything you had before, and you find out there's a second group of bad guys, which are like allied with the original bad guys, but just ignore that part because pretty much these guys were never mentioned.
Yeah.
These guys had like no point beforehand, and the whole game is about killing this threat which never existed before, and the game ends with you killing them, pretty much being forced to destroy the station unless, and I don't know if the station never comes in the third game, but pretty much everybody, the game like trips you into destroying it anyway, which means you end up where you started, and the villains have not arrived yet, which means if you take out everything that happened in the second game, nothing changes. And I'm the type of guy who's like, if there's a story which goes in a complete circle and there's been no change, then I'm just like, I get so mad. Like, the whole thing is irrelevant to me. Because if you think about it, nothing happens in that game which makes any point. You start out as the guy who is liked by everyone, and you die, you come back, nobody likes you. You find out new villains which were not relevant before. You kill the villains, you don't hurt the new villains, the original villains at all, and you're once again the guy who is liked. So you're not really in third game. So I don't know.
except in the third game where everyone's like, again.
Yeah, no, but point is, the game has no point because it just goes in a circle. You might as well wake up at the end of the game, be still on the spaceship with the same crew that he had before, and be like, oh, that was all a dream, and it would not change anything.
You know, that's actually true, unfortunately. Besides the destroying, there's some decisions you make in the second one that change some stuff, but I have to agree. Overall, as the major plot, you don't do that much important. Because it didn't really need to be said that, oh hey, you kill this guy, and it's like, okay, you could have made a comic book about that and just had the third game be the second game, and then that even makes more sense. Because the thing about the third game is I don't hate it as much story-wise so far, because it actually kind of takes out that element. There's still some of it there, but for the most part, people aren't like Commander Shepard. There's the occasional time. Oh, actually, that's not completely true. But the game feels like it has a better reason for people being like that. But even then, there are the occasional times where it's like, I'm Commander Shepard. Can you just listen to me, dumbasses? I hate you. I hate you all.
The thing is, with the third game, it's probably a lot better. Because it is forced to be relevant to the plot. In just the second game, it was totally irrelevant to the plot, which is like, my analogy would be like, imagine you have Lord of the Rings. Saruman is never mentioned in the first Lord of the Rings book, and then like you go through the first book, like the Fellowship breaks up, the book ends where, I don't remember the books and the movies end at different points, just imagine it ends where the movie ends, so you have like, but Saruman is not at all mentioned, the Fellowship is broken up, and like the hobbits, like two hobbits get dragged away by some random orcs. And then instead of the second book continuing at all with Frodo, it's like the book is like, let's forget about Frodo and just see what Aragorn does. And then the whole second book is just about them like following the Hobbit guys. reaching like Saruman and then like fighting Saruman, and it's a book ending with them beating Saruman, but who are not like if he wasn't mentioned in the first book at all. It's like you beat Saruman, a guy who was not at all mentioned in the first book. Like he was, but I mean like if he wasn't, he was not at all mentioned before. It's like this completely irrelevant threat to the whole Hobbit thing. Like Frodo and Sam are not mentioned once. It's completely irrelevant what you did, but good job. Now read the third book to actually find out how the story we were supposed to be continuing continues. Because this has nothing to do with the actual plot. Like you might as well be going like, and then it's like the first Mass Effect game, and the second one it's like, and then far away in a long time ago in a different galaxy, and then you have like a Star Wars plot, and then the Star Wars plot is like one through, and then you go back to the original plot. It's like that was pointless.
Yeah. All right, I get what you're saying.
But yeah, that just pissed me off.
Yeah. All right,
Like,
so we're sorry to all of you Mass Effect fans. Sapare might not be. I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be too rude. We're just kind of stating that, oh hey, Mass Effect 2, way too much hype.
Yeah.
If you want a great game, go play Disgaea 4. Go play Ratchet and Clank. Go play Baldur's Gate.
Mountain Blade.
Go play Mountain Blade. There's just some freaking great games that are just good old fun.
Yeah. The thing is, just as a side mention, because I brought up Mountain Blade, like, I mentioned how monotone, like, really, like, I consider Mass Effect 2 really monotone. And like, Mountain Blade, it's like the most monotone game you could ever have. It's like, there's some talking, but pretty much everything comes down to beat the shit off guys. But the difference is the combat is like 8 times. The thing is, this combat is so defined that it's so fun, that it's so monotone it doesn't hurt it. Like because the combat is so fun. Like that's what I say. If Mass Effect 2 had pulled that off, I'd be like, okay, it's really monotone, but I can understand this. But Mass Effect 2 combat is a bit better than first one, but it's not as fun, so it can't just be like let's do that all day long.
Well, I think the other thing is if Mass Effect 2 hadn't been Mass Effect 2 and it had been its own standalone game, I would have given it more credit, but it wasn't. It was Mass Effect 2, but BioWare didn't actually make it a sequel to the game, so it kind of...
it wasn't a sequel in spirit, really. It story-wise, it was totally unrelated.
Well,
like, other than the hints to the other guys, like imagine just taking out the hints that these guys were working for the, like, what were they called?
Geth.
The Reapers.
Oh, Reapers, fucking.
Yeah,
wait,
yeah.
What? I thought they were called the Geth. Weren't the robots that you're fighting called the Geth? Yeah.
Yes, but I mean, like, they were working, but the main bad guys are the Reapers.
I don't even know the story to the game,
Geth.
so I'm not gonna argue.
The thing is, the Geth in the first game you fight the Geth, but they only worked. They fight together with Sauron, or however you pronounce them. They fight together with the Reaper because they imagine him to be a god. But the Geth themselves are only like the middle villains. They're not really the main villains. But the point is, you fight the Reapers are the bad guys. But if you just took out all mentions of the collectors working together with the Reapers, then
I get the feeling you're getting a name mixed up, because I'm pretty sure the Reapers were the main group. Like wasn't Commander Shepard a Reaper?
Those are the those were the Spectres.
Oh, Spectres! I'm stupid. Sorry. I'm being a dumbass. You're right. It's Spectres. Okay, so the Reapers are indeed these other. Okay, now I know what I'm thinking of. Now I'm not so confused. Okay, I'm the one who's mixed up. Sorry.
Here, if you want a link. Reapers.
Yeah.
Point is, the thing is, because the Reapers are the main villain guys, the guys you're like afraid of. And then in the second game you have like suddenly new enemies, which are like the collectors. And the game like brings up every now and then, oh yeah, these collectors, they work for the Reapers. But just imagine, take the game, take out all mentions of the collectors working with the Reapers, so that, because the Reapers would not be mentioned in the game at all. And you could have like a completely standalone different story, because it's totally irrelevant to the Reapers. Like, you never meet a single Reaper in the whole game. Like, in the end you do, but it's totally thrown in and it makes no logical sense. It's like, oh yeah, they were building a Reaper, by the way, out of organic matter, which makes no fucking sense. But
yeah, exactly. Well, that's
because organic matter is perfect, as we all know. That's why you get sick, and that's why you die from bullet wounds.
Pretty much exactly, yeah. So it's pretty silly.
But yeah, I think that like I know like somebody's probably gonna be upset, and I'm actually kind of sorry if I pissed people off, but I'm just so sick. Like there are a few games where I'm just so sick of people like going on about their greatness, and like most of all this one is especially because it's like I really love the first one, and then you're like, oh yeah, the first one was okay-ish, but the second one was so awesome, and I just wanna bitch slap you because it's like you're so being unfair. The first one was 40, yes, but the first one was 40 for the right reasons, and the second.
Don't worry, Sapare will bitch slap you, but I'll be a little nice. I think I'll throw in a nice little dick slap. Okay, I'm sorry. What?
Good to know.
I probably won't dick slap you if you like Mass Effect 2 better than 1. But I might. Well, no, I don't think I will.
But yeah, actually, to be honest, just as a general, I'm actually glad I found somebody who directly agreed. Like, I had people who kind of agree, but never somebody who like directly agreed so much, which is nice.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, actually, after Mass Effect 2 released, and after they brought out some stuff about Dragon Age 2, like about a year and a half before Dragon Age 2 released, I was like, this game is going to suck. And everybody's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And then like 2 months before it released, it's like, this game is going to suck. And then like everybody's like, what is wrong with you? And then like 2 months after the game released, it's like, this game sucks. And everybody's like, yeah, everybody says that, you fucking idiot. I'm like, I've been saying it for 2 years. Yeah, of course you have been. I'm like, I have been.
Yeah.
I said 2 years ago it sucks because it's like, I remember the news record was like, oh yeah, the combat is so much more smoother, and like he can do like his special moves where he like cut the darkspawn like in half, and then I'm like, this isn't Dragon Age. This is like, I know without hating on, without like ripping apart like games that you like, but this is like manga, Japanese, like over the top kind of stuff, like what I would call like Final Fantasy kind of stuff. Like it's not like Dragon Age was supposed to be at least be this, even if you don't want to call it realistic, but you kind of want to call it this gritty kind of thingy.
Yeah.
Where it's like in the first game, you can like when he swings the two-hand sword, you can actually feel the weight in that blade because this guy is like has to like poise his blade. But in the second game, he just does like a backflippy spinny thing. I'm like, I can already from this tell where this game is going. It's not gonna be a role-playing game, because in a role-playing game which is supposed to be an immersion, this you would not have this because this is not immersion.
Yeah, well, and yeah, well, some role-playing games can be like that, but it's not that kind of role-playing game.
Yeah, you need
I'm not that kind of role-playing game. I'm sorry.
Whoever get that reference, Vince.
Yeah, I know.
He's not that kind of role-playing game.
Those people will get that reference, but that's hilarious if you get it. Oh, I should really find more places to use that, because I just love that.
I love that quote. Yes.
Yeah, I'm not that kind of rogue.
I believe it was I'm not that kind of thief.
Oh
actually.
yeah, that's right. It was thieves, not rogues. Sorry.
But yeah, that was just like I did at that point. I didn't even have video footage. I was in a forum of actually it was like a clan forum, and people were discussing like Mass Effect 2 and Dragon Age 2, and like there was that news report where they talked about how the combat was like streamlined and how it's like so much more fast-paced looking and all that, and it's like, just from that knowledge, I could tell that it was not gonna be really a role-playing game.
Yeah.
And people hate it for all the different reasons. Like people don't hate it because of, I guess there's I don't know, I haven't played it, so I don't actually, like, I've not looked into too much why people end up hating it. But now it's like really monotone. It looks disgusting, and the story is pointless. Which I guess the story just wasn't epic enough, because doing a pointless story never hurt anybody in Mass Effect 2. But my point is, I hate it for alone, like the fact that it pretty much betrays all the, like, even the mythos is totally fucked up.
Yeah.
Because I remember, like, even like I played the demo, which was the intro, and if I remember correctly, unless the game like flips around and it says like all of this was not real, isn't it? Did you play the game at all?
No, I just played the demo.
Did you play the? Oh, well, you played the demo then. I don't know how far you played the first one, but I remember in the demo, you fight like, you get like overrun by darkspawn. First thing, you kill dark spawns. You know how fucking impossible it was established how impossible it is to kill dark spawns, like unless you are like this warrior who was trained all your life, or you like this badass motherfucker. And then this guy just like this like random douchebag you have never heard of before just walks around killing these dark spawns left and right. It's like, who the fuck are you? And then there's like this mage, which I don't actually remember. Is she like a hidden? I believe you have a
You're
mage.
traveling with your that would be your sister, I believe.
And she's a mage, but she isn't actually found by the order. Is that correctly? Is she not like she's not an official mage? I don't know.
I don't know.
I think she might not be an official mage. I might have this wrong because if she is an official mage, I call like bullshit again because this is a bit less fair. But it's like in the first game, it's pretty much established how good, at least how obsessed with hunting down mages these guys are. I want to know how these guys pulled it off to be close to one of the biggest armies ever, and like not at all have a problem like being found out. But more importantly, the main point that broke it for me is like you get over one, and then the dragon, I forgot her name, but the dragon woman, the shapeshifter, like she comes in and saves your ass, and it's like, she's the villain, you do know that, right? Like, why would she save you? I think she's like, you have to give this to someone or something like that, but it's like really fucking irrelevant, because it's like, she pretty much, in the first game it's established that what she does is she has like, I don't know if she steals them, but she has these daughters which she teaches all this magic crap and like does all this stuff so she can later take over their body and continue living in their body. She's not a good person. The only reason she saves you in the first game is because she needs a distraction. Like literally it says the only reason she helps you is to be a distraction for that woman mage person. That's the only reason. Like, why would she go out and save a random douchebag she doesn't care about and she has no reason to help? Because even with the excuse like you have to give this package to someone, it's like you could have done the same excuse to the main character in the first game, considering you already saved his ass. Or did you forget about this say like 2 minutes ago?
I haven't played through the story enough to know if there's a more legit reason, obviously, but
yeah, like I didn't play beyond the demo, so I don't know if
okay, so you might be being a little unfair. There might be a legit reason later, although I doubt it. But I'm just.
But you have to keep in mind that you don't play in the same country, so I don't think she ever shows up again. So I don't think there can be much of a legit reason.
Oh, okay.
Like you totally leave the nation, so there's like no way she's ever gonna show up again.
Yeah, if she doesn't show up again, you're right. She can't really have a legit reason to be like, oh hey, random adventure, I'ma save your ass so you can deliver this package that I could have delivered 10 times faster.
That I could have given the guy I just saved 2 minutes ago, or I could have just I could have like gotten anybody else to do it. Instead, I save a rogue mage and like a random other guy, and I actually not only do I save them, but I'm like gonna go outright and show my dragon form, because yeah, that's what the fuck I do. That's how I survived it such a long time.
Yeah, so I don't know. That's pretty silly. But oh well.
But yeah, again, if I'm wrong, the comments correct me, but that's from what I played that pissed me off. There was other stuff like she doesn't look at all like she looks in the first game. Like I believe her hair is like completely white, and maybe even
I don't know.
Which I just like, does she use hair color in between? Did she just decide to take hairstyle?
I'm going to.
It's like random bitch in the wilds. Like she doesn't talk to people. Why the hell would she change her hair color?
I'm going to agree that this is pretty stupid, but this video is an hour and 17 minutes, so we've been going on for a while. And really, I think it's already established that Dragon Age 2 is bad. So I think this is a good spot to just leave off. So so the video doesn't get too long.
Point of why I always say I coined it. I was hipster, and I was hipster before it was. We didn't even have the hipster meme back then. So I called that before it was hipster to be hipster, whatever.
Whatever. Sapare did things that weren't cool before it was cool to do things that weren't cool before they were cool. I mean, something
exactly.
Stupid. Yeah. Something stupid like that.
If anybody watched this video this far, post a comment and say you did.
Yeah, exactly. post a comment letting us know the incredible amount of progress you've made. Thank you for watching, every pony, if you're still watching, and goodbye.
And take care.